What is up, fish heads? Welcome back to Waterbox Live here this Wednesday evening. Appreciate you all tuning in. Today is an open Q&A. That means you can ask us anything about aquariums, saltwater, freshwater, horse heads, whatever you want. Keep it PG.
Brought it by popular demand because people have been asking for weeks and months, and it's been a while since the horse head has made an appearance.
It lives in my office.
I know, it does reside in the office. So we said it had to come out today. It's open Q&A. So start dropping your questions in there. We're also giving away 2 $100 Waterbox gift cards. And the currency, of course, for that, as always, is be active in the chat. Put your questions. You can't be chosen as a winner if we don't know you're here. And the guys know you're here by being active in the chat. Yeah. So start getting your questions in, anything aquarium related, and we'll start answering those soon.
Yep. We can see how many of you are here, but we don't know you're here if you don't comment. So tell us where you're from. Tell us what water box you have. Tell us if you don't have a water box. And then we'll ask you why. Just engage with us. Ask us anything today, and we'll try to answer it.
Yep. We will answer it.
I'll try. She definitely will.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to answer questions. He's going to mostly read them. That's how we do. Like button things.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Helps us out tremendously. Liking and subscribing is part of the currency to win the gift cards. So, again, we appreciate you all being here.
Yep. I don't know.
If you guys haven't already, nothing. If you guys haven't already, check out Year of the Reef. That's a 12-month series that we're doing on YouTube, well, which Jess is doing on YouTube. All about setting up and maintaining our 230.6 Infinity Reef from A to Z. And we're going to be doing it the whole year. We're giving away $8,000 total. Mm-hmm. So we're giving away $2,000 every 3 months during that series, so definitely check it out. You can learn more about that by visiting waterboxaquariums.com/YOTR.
Yeah, so it's a really good series. And even though we're doing it on the Infinity Reef 230.6, which is a large aquarium, the fundamentals and what we're covering in each episode transfers to any size saltwater aquarium. So, don't think, oh, I have a small aquarium, it doesn't work. It is all the fundamentals of setting up an aquarium from the beginning through stocking it, through cycling, all those things. So do check it out. And like I said, you do have a chance to win. We're going to gift card, doing gift card giveaways. So do check that out. And it's every 2 weeks. A new episode is dropping on Sundays. So I think we're coming up on either episode 5 or 6 that's going to be dropping this weekend. And we're, we've gotten through the sumps and equipment and stuff, starting to get through that process. But it is something that really is great information through the whole setup process, then come to stocking and everything that you need to know. If you're thinking about doing a saltwater aquarium, or even if you have one, some great information that you may not already know. And just like you said, good information, chance to win money. Do check it out. And then even on the weeks that we don't do Year of the Reef, we also have other recorded videos with great content that are dropping. So you want to be subscribed, you want the notifications going, because we do have a lot happening on the channel. Along with being here live with us on Wednesdays.
With a random horse head that makes no sense.
Everyone loves the horse head. It's got to be here.
How does everyone store the water box salt in an old bucket, ?
I guess if you open one of the bags, because the great thing about our salt is it's not in a big bucket where you have a ton of salt that's open for a long period of time. It gets really hard from moisture. Is you have the bags. If you don't use one, each bag is 40 gallons. If you don't use all of it at one time, roll it up really tight, rubber band it, clip it, whatever. And even if it gets a little bit of moisture in there and gets a little bit kind of harder, you can break it up and still use it. It doesn't affect the quality of the salt. But you can also, of course, put it in another bag, store it in something airtight if you wanted to. But they're in relatively small serving bags so that you don't have that problem if you have 120 gallons worth of salt that now is in a bucket and now is freaking one big block of salt that is impossible to break up.
That's the reason we did that too, Sean, is so that you could break it up into smaller amounts where you don't just have one big bucket. And we also didn't want to use a bucket because there's plenty of buckets in the world.
There is.
So we decided not to use buckets. We just wanted to use a box, a few bags, keeps it fresher.
Environmentally friendly.
Yeah, so you can use it in smaller amounts. It's all recyclable. So, I mean, buckets are recyclable, but less buckets.
But plastic is not as recyclable as cardboard. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Although I purchased an Infinity Reef 150.4 back on 2.9. If you're a back order, I know you're a back order, but any idea on ETA? I know it's hard to answer, just trying to see how long it normally takes for your backlog. That's a popular model.
That is. Can't imagine probably too much longer, but do reach out to support@waterboxaquariums.com. They're probably going to be able to answer that a lot better than we can and give you a better estimation of your ship week. So do reach out to them with your order number, and they can help you out.
Dimitri, hello Dimitri. Have you considered adding lighting inside the cabinet? I'm sure Waterbox can put a crazy spin on it. You know what? I have.
Have you really?
I have, yeah.
You've never brought it up.
I think maybe I have. It's just been a number of years.
Okay.
I do think it's a good idea. I do think it's a little bit challenging in regards to how harsh the environment is inside the cabinet. So we have to find something that's like, highly waterproof.
Put
Rated.
an FLED in there.
It'd have to be IP68 like the FLED. I do like that idea though, Dimitri, because I always thought it'd be cool. You open the cabinets and boom,
Yeah.
lights come on.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people put their own lighting in there that is kind of
Yeah.
automatic lit whenever you open the doors, is censored or whatever. But also it comes to that thing of like everyone wants maybe something different with their lighting. So if we include something, they're like, oh, I want something different. It's kind of tough with that. And since most of our cabinets, except for the LX, you have to assemble, you then have to still install your own lighting as well. So
Yeah, it's a fine balance between like having someone DIY it or you include it.
Yeah.
It's interesting though. Can I remove the sump and brace that needs to be removed while I have the tank filled? 340 LX. Do not do that.
No. You would want to really drain the tank as much as possible. And then at that point, if you really have to remove the sump, and there's very few reasons that you really need to remove the sump. And come across people like, oh, well, I want to like really thoroughly clean it, that kind of stuff. And you can do it in the sump. But if it came to it, you're going to want to empty the tank as much as possible, alleviate as much weight, and then use like a jack to kind of keep that in place because that tank is going to put a lot of
She had
thing.
a follow-up question along the same line, so I'm guessing this is why she wants to do it.
Okay. Salt behind the sump. So need to clean the salt buildup behind the sump and need to remove the sump, so also remove the brace. I think it's okay to remove. Yeah, okay.
Okay, if you have salt buildup behind the sump, you need to remove the sump. Also, honestly, there's a lot of gadgets out there that's a little vacuum with attachments and things like that. I would rather you spend $50 and go get a little mini vac that has attachments and clean it up behind there than deal with all of that because you really do want to take as much weight out of the aquarium as possible and you still want to kind of support that frame. Those front supports on all of our cabinets are there for structural reasons. And you have that weight of the aquarium that is going to possibly make it to where you're going to have a hard time putting that brace back in and you don't want that. So no, don't.
And also, there might be salt buildup, but like Jess said, there's ways to get rid of that without removing the sump.
Yeah, there's
Just
a little
gotta
there's a lot of
Just got to
vacuum
get a
things.
little bit creative. I wouldn't worry about that salt as much as I would about removing that brace.
Yeah, that's a big tank.
Yeah. Looking at one of the peninsula tanks and not finding many out there, do the stands still have doors on both sides?
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
That's the
AJ.
point of Peninsula, man. You want full access.
Yeah. Any insight on 3D printed objects in aquariums? I've helped people set up their aquarium and they always ask me. So 3D printed objects, I guess is the plastic safe to be inside the aquarium? Maybe like a decoration?
Well, that depends because honestly, everyone who has a 3D printer thinks that they're a professional now. So it really depends on who you're getting it from. So don't just buy any 3D printed item. You would want to know what the material is. And also salt water is a whole lot more aggressive than fresh water. So not all the materials are going to be the same between the two. And, go with a company that is going to be known and proven versus someone maybe on Etsy that's just
Yeah, there's a number
printing
of-
stuff at their house. And
There's a number of reputable companies doing 3D printed stuff. Some of them you can find their products in our Facebook group.
Yeah, so just be wary of what you're doing and what they're using.
And if you want to do it at home, just make sure to Google it. I'm sure there's information out there. Without saying, as big as you can get, what size tank do you think is best for most aquarists? I'm going to say 4 foot.
Yeah, 4 foot I think is the most popular.
Next 110.4. That's just about
Real-
anybody. If you want a
Reef
little,
150.4.
yeah, if you want a little more depth, a little more advanced, go with the 150.4.
Yeah, 4 foot is the most popular. Either in the Marine X line, the 4 foot is, and the Reef line,
Yeah.
the 150 is. So
Thank you, Northern Tide. Again, you guys, this is open Q&A. We're going to try to get to as many questions as we can, but we're giving away two $100 gift cards at the end of the stream. Currency to win that is engaging with us. Ask your questions. Ask about Waterbox. Ask about keeping aquariums, all that good stuff. Is there a best way to start up a brand new tank? Very carefully.
that is solid advice. Great.
That's why I said I would try to answer the questions. It doesn't necessarily mean.
There's a whole lot more in-depth explanation that can go into it, but using the proper bacteria, Waterbox star bacteria, ghost feeding, Carib Sea, live sand, life rock are key points on that. But to go in more in depth, go to our YouTube channel when you're done with the stream. And we have,
You're the Reef.
yeah, You're the Reef. I'm not sure if we're not to that point yet on our videos, but follow along. But we do also have quite a few videos on there. We've done so many builds, and in every build we always cover proper cycling and setup of an aquarium because it's so important. And if you do it wrong, is why so many people leave the hobby, is because they're not given the right advice and they crash their aquarium, they kill stuff. So you'll find pretty much in any build we do, there's going to be a whole segment, episode, live stream, whatever, that is dedicated to proper cycling and setup of an aquarium. So
Yeah,
you can find so many of them that we talk about: cycling, testing, dosing, all of that. Do go through those, and it's going to give you so much more information than I can give you in a timely manner here.
Yeah, and Marcus, I don't know if you're talking about freshwater or saltwater, but if you're talking about saltwater specifically, we got a number of build series about setting up an all-in-one, about setting up a reef tank, about setting up a large reef tank, and there's playlists for all those in our channel, so check those out. Waterbox Marine X 90.3, which glass scraper size is best? Does it work for coralline algae?
The medium. So you want to get the Waterbox medium magnet cleaner, and it already includes a scraper blade. So the scraper blade that is included with ours is plastic because we do not need metal going to glass and silicone. You're going to have a higher chance of scratches and also destroying your silicone, which is not good for your aquarium long term. So you will find other ones on the market that have a metal blade. These are going to take care of coralline algae. However, they're also going to be very, very dangerous to your aquarium. Don't let coralline get built up on your aquarium. Regular maintenance. Now, if you already have coralline, your best bet is to go ahead and get a blade. You can get regular ones, handheld ones or something like that. And very gently, with your hands and not a magnet, is to clean up that coralline algae, because a magnet will have a lot of force and can go into your silicone and stuff like that, even though you don't mean to. So hand clean coralline algae buildup. Use like a Waterbox magnet that has the plastic blade. Don't go to silicone. Don't go to your edges. And do regular maintenance with that. That's going to keep you from ever having that coralline buildup. Use handheld for harder algae buildup.
Yeah, and like you said, those 3 front panels, don't let the coralline grow on those. If you want to let it go on the back panel, that's fine, because if you scratch it, you're never going to notice. Keep the coralline off the front 3 panels.
It takes a long time for coralline to build up. So if you're talking about the back, get a handheld scraper, something like that you can clean it up with, because like you said, it doesn't matter as much as you scrape it. But don't take that metal blade and go to your silicone edges. I don't care where it is, don't do it.
Yeah, we designed the Waterbox magnets to be for like everyday maintenance, and everyday maintenance is not coralline algae. So you look at a lot of other products on the market that are designed for coralline algae, they scratch your glass a lot of the time. Not all the time,
One
That's
little
gonna-
bend in that metal blade,
happen.
and you, oh my God, will just destroy your glass. And and when you're using a magnet, and you're like, oh, I'm being so careful, and then it just jams into your silicone, that enough times and over time does make a difference in the integrity of your aquarium. It may not show up for years, but it will eventually have an effect.
Yep. Is there any reason why you couldn't technically use a freshwater Waterbox aquarium for saltwater? Is it the plumbing?
There is no reason. You just have to be a little more creative with your filtration. So Adriana,
That sounds like to say.
I'm sure she's probably in here. She's in here for most, but if not, she's
better
in
be.
our user group a lot on Facebook. She uses pretty much only freshwater aquariums for saltwater, and she has some of the most beautiful saltwater aquariums. Got an Eden set up for saltwater. She uses our clear
Really?
models.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen any pictures of that. Is it up yet?
Yeah. She uses clear models. She's got custom Waterbox aquariums that are not drilled. So it really comes down to just knowing what your filtration needs are, what you're going to do with it, and just using it properly for that. Also, you can get our freshwater models, the clears and stuff like that, and you can drill them yourself. It will avoid the warranty. We're not responsible if you bust it, but you can take a 6-foot clear, drill it, and do whatever you want with it and use it for saltwater. So there is no reason you can't. You just have to take in consideration filtration and other things that you would need for saltwater. Don't go using hang-on-back filters for your saltwater tank, okay? Just saying
Thank you,
that.
Adam. You prefer a wide base for Aquascape or prefer going vertical with it? I'm struggling here.
Wide base. 100%.
Yeah. Jess has a number of aquascaping videos that we've done. I don't know how big your tank is, but we have one for like a big Reef LX 7-foot. We got one for a frag.
Got the Marine X one?
Yeah, we got the Marine X over here.
Yeah.
I don't think we've dropped that one yet, but
No, we do have one coming out for the year in the Reef. We've got our Cube 20 that we've done aquascaping for, Cube 20 build that we have. So we have quite a few of aquascaping, but width is always going to be more important space-wise, and it really doesn't necessarily matter the footprint of your aquarium. I mean, it does to some extent, but like none of the Waterbox models are like super narrow. We've made sure that we don't do anything like that because you don't want a super narrow aquarium for so many reasons. But no matter what, like how you design your aquascape, you never want it to be just a tall wall because it's not going to be good
that's the old
for
school way
any
to do it.
coral.
Just
Oh
build
my
a-
God.
Just build a giant wall across
Just a
the
giant wall of tons of
Yeah,
rock
you have no
leaning
access to
against
like
the
most
back.
of the glass to clean.
No, so it doesn't matter where the footprint
I
is.
was
You
guilty
don't
of that
want
one
to do it.
time.
Yeah, every tank was like that because it used to be just big
Yeah.
boulders of rock.
Yeah,
All
you
you could
get
get was
these
like
big-
huge chunks of rock, and you just would stack them against the back of your glass, and you would just have just big chunks. It'd be like 400 pounds of rock in a 100-gallon aquarium. Your fish would have no space to go, and it would just be tons of rock in there because that was all that was available.
Thank goodness for Carib Sea Life Rock. And there's other ones on the market too, but thank goodness for them because they have really changed the way, paved the way for
I know,
how
because
for
all
rock
the
in an
good,
aquarium.
all the really nice live rock from actual collection is no longer available.
And
So
it's junk.
yeah,
That's super nice stuff, and you don't have to worry about hitchhikers and all that stuff. Can I keep 2 small emerald crab in a 15-gallon tank if they go? Quarantine tank if they go after coral. I don't know, sometimes. It's a little hard
I guess why are they in there? Like, what do you need them in there for? And
to- They're pets.
grown attached to these emerald crabs. If they're going to be in there and it's, say, a coral quarantine tank, so emerald crabs are not going to stay small. They might be small now. They're not going to stay small. They're a big crab. They will become large, especially if they're males. They're going to have huge claws. So for now, they might be fine. You need to make sure that they have a good food source.
I haven't just quit.
You have to make sure you're feeding them. So if they're in there and they're hungry, they're going to find food, and that's going to be your coral. So it's not that they want to eat your coral. It's that if they're hungry enough, they're not going to let themselves die. They're going to find a food source. So make sure that they're getting food. They're also mostly herbivores. So you need to make sure that they're getting algae, seaweed clips, an algae-based food. So if they're going to be in there, make sure they're fed, but also consider, are they worth being in there? Like, why do they need to be in there if there's a risk of them, either they're making too much waste, or they're gonna eat your corals, or like, is there a purpose of them being in there?
I was staying delivery today, but it's raining out and I'm not yet done work. Do you think it would still be okay to get this or the stand will get damaged?
I mean, I try to get it inside. I mean, hold on.
It's gonna have to be like a PW or something like that, like a UPS.
I'm guessing it's like a ground delivery if it's sitting outside. Hopefully it's covered somewhere. I don't know, I need more details, but hopefully it's not like just soaking wet. But it is, I mean, the outside boxing is a very thick cardboard, so.
Some delivery drivers are a little bit more lenient on whether or not they put it under an overhang when there's one available. I have a giant overhang by my front door. As a matter of fact, the front door is completely covered for like 8 feet out in front of it, and they'll put it outside of that. And it's like, there's no
8 steps, man.
Yeah. They're like, I'm not doing it.
I have a front gate too, like a gate that's at, like, you got to open to go to my front door, and they'll just throw it over that, like just rocket it over it.
And you know what? FedEx and stuff has done that with aquariums. So,
Yeah, I believe
you know,
it. Yeah.
it's not unheard of.
Not every.
I mean, if something does happen, reach out to support. Just let us know. But I'm sure that they've tucked it wherever they can in weather.
I remember when I don't remember who, but they dropped it in the curb, and the garbage truck.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You remember that?
Oh yeah.
We should tell that story. So you think you're worried about rain? We had somebody get an aquarium delivered to their driveway.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
So we're talking. This is a 6-foot Reef aquarium. This is not small. This is a large crate. Like, you know, an 800-pound crate. This guy got it delivered, and it was dropped curbside because with freight, unless, you know, most deliveries will, unless you do like the inside or a premium delivery. So this guy got it delivered to his driveway at the curb. He signed for it. He walked inside, went to do something. He came back out. The city waste management, I guess it was large trash pickup day, had come while he was inside his house. And this truck had taken this pallet and thrown it into the trash truck.
They had like a crane. They literally picked it up and were like, "This is garbage."
It happened to be the exact time that large trash pickup was coming with a crane and put this brand new aquarium in the crate into the dumpster and had
Did you find it?
demolished it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard one to find.
It was within 10 minutes of it being delivered.
Yeah.
It had been demolished by the city into this trash truck.
Fortunately for him, the city
The city
paid
did
for
pay
they
for a
bought
new one.
a new aquarium.
But that was probably one of the worst situations that we've probably ever come across, as far as like the odds of that timing is like 0.0001%. When he came through with that to supporting claims, I felt so bad.
That was a long time ago.
That was
2019,
years,
maybe?
years. Yeah, I had to be. That was so many years ago. But yeah, this poor guy had pictures of his brand new aquarium just busted up in this truck. So,
They brought it back, the trash people?
no, they were still there. He ran out as they had thrown it into the dumpster, and he got pictures.
Yeah, he got, and the city had to buy him a whole new system, basically.
Yeah. The city cut him a check to buy a whole brand new aquarium.
Oh, wow.
Because they definitely messed that one up. So that is one of the worst situations probably ever. So that's fun story of the day.
I'll never forget that one. Why did you guys make a freshwater tank with a black background?
Honestly, because our backgrounds are vinyl that you can apply yourself and like put it on. Because a lot of people like frosted. They might like a opaque white.
That's a
They might
preference.
like
you can
black.
you could, if you want it to be black, you can just go get some vinyl and put it on. Is that what you're saying?
The Eden black comes with a black background.
Yeah, the Edens do. The Edens do have a background. So the Edens come with a white or a black background depending on the banding color. But like all the clear models have no background because those are meant for aquascaping. And in the aquascaping world, people have a very strict preference on what they want their background color to be. And it can be frosted, it can be opaque, it can be black, so it's very dependent on what they want to do. And with it being so simple to apply or purchase vinyl, we leave it up to them.
When you say saltwater is more aggressive than freshwater, are you talking about the hobby or the hobbyist?
Well,
I don't know.
I'll leave that one you to answer.
I don't know. Maybe saltwater hobbyists are more opinionated, potentially. I don't know about aggressive.
I'm gonna go no comment.
Did I say aggressive? Probably.
Probably.
Are there any products for buffing out hiding the scratch on the inside of an aquarium?
There are. There's a lot of products on the market. Can't recommend a certain one to you. I would get in touch with a local glass company or anyone that can recommend, or even like our user group for someone that has used one. However, I will let you know, if your aquarium is running, you will have to drain it down or empty it completely in order to do any scratch repair. So it is not something that can be done with a tank running. It cannot be done something with water at that level. So you will have to do some major draining, emptying, or modifications to the aquarium to buff them out. But it's not a hard process. It is a little bit time consuming, but it just is something that you have to actually not have water at that spot to do it.
Sean asked if we're going to do blue backgrounds.
Oh, that's so 80s, 90s.
Yeah,
That
we'll do it
is.
if you buy 9,000 pounds of sand.
I think he has by now. You ask
You think
him.
so? I don't know if he's bought any. Are there any products for? Reading the same question. Question: I'm looking at purchasing an Infinia Peninsula 4820 Plus edition. Good choice. I've heard stories about the stands having issues with stability. Peeps saying Red Sea equals burst tanks. Waterbox equals weak stand.
In the first production of those, we did have a little bit of some modifications that we made with the cabinet, but those have been changed. So
Yeah, it's been resolved.
any stands coming out now have been changed. Any ones that are previous have kits that we've done for. So
Yeah.
you are good to go.
Plan to use a filter roller on my 190.5. Will the back channel on the sump become stagnant with no flow?
It can. So you do have, if you're diverting your main drain into a filter roller, you do have that possibility that area is going to become. I do know in our Facebook user group, a lot of people have talked about this, and they do have some options that they have done with that back chamber. So do check in there. We don't have any of our sumps currently modified for a filter roller, so I can't tell you with that. You do have the option, of course, allowing a small amount of water through your secondary drain, which will at least move enough water to not have that chamber stagnant, but not make your overflow noisy. So you have options, but do check our user group because a lot of people do bring this up, and I know people have said what they've done with it. So do check that out.
Johnny, how do you pronounce your last name?
Robux? Robux?
Review?
No.
I have a 3-spot domino damselfish in a 40-gallon tank all by itself. I want to put one of their fish with him. Not. What are words?
Not yours today.
With him or her, not sure what fish will work and is safe.
Honestly, if that damselfish is established, you're probably doomed. Damselfish are not known for being nice, let alone once they're established. Domino damsels are not the nicest of them. It's a high risk, especially if you want one fish. That poor fish is going to probably be terrorized until it dies. And in a 40-gallon, you have enough room to add quite a more fish than one. So you can try a few things. You could try adding a handful of fish at one time so that then that fish is outnumbered to see if the aggression is kind of spread out. But you need to make sure it's not anything that's sensitive. You can't add something really docile. Like you can't do firefish and like cardinals and stuff like that. You need clownfish and like a dotty back and stuff like that that's going to be a little bit more aggressive to kind of counteract that. Or honestly, get rid of the damsel. I mean, I know you might be, I'm guessing at this point you probably got some attachment to the fish, but it's going to limit what you can do with a whole 40-gallon aquarium because damselfish, their nickname is devilfish. They're not going to be allowing a lot of fish in there. So either get rid of that fish and have freedom to do whatever you want fish stocking wise, or consider maybe clownfish, dottybacks, royal grandmas, some more aggressive stuff to try and do it. And it may be a bloodbath. That damselfish may murder everything that goes in there. You don't know until you try, and it's a big risk.
Johnny says his last name is pronounced Robo.
Robo, okay. Very
I
cool.
might have pronounced that wrong too. R-O-B-O. I just saw a question that said the water box should make smaller frag carriers to bring to frag swaps. Well, I saw something very interesting. I don't know if you guys remember, oh goodness, Terrence from, used to be at Neptune.
Mm-hmm.
Big guy, used to be at Neptune. He started a company called, this is not sponsored, but Avid Aqua, and he has a lot of really cool carriers that are on saltwateraquarium.com. Like he made some really neat like frag carriers that like they open up and there's like little things that you put them in and it's for like buying frags at like shows and stuff. Yeah, so it's called Avid Aqua and it's on saltwateraquarium.com. So if you're looking for like frag carriers, they also have a lot of different cool frag racks. Check it out.
I'll also give
It
you
just made me think of that.
I'll give you a DIY tip if you ever want. Egg crate. You can buy it from Home Depot. It's a light diffuser. You make it for your own buckets. You can make your own little PVC.
Yeah.
You can like make your own racks. Super cheap. So
Yeah, that's definitely another way to do it.
also something you do. Frag racks in your aquarium, dividers in your sump. The light diffuser we call it egg crate in the aquarium world. It's like, I don't know, $15 a sheet for like a 4-foot sheet. You can do so much with that stuff. So, and you can pretty much shape it into anything that you want. So,
Ready for winners.
ready for winners?
Yep.
All right.
You might want to say that if anybody has any questions too, they can always email support for questions about aquariums and details. And
Yeah, so guys, I know there's a lot of questions we didn't get answered today. We always try to get to as many as we can. We'd have to be here for a much longer time. But if you do still want to ask those questions, email support@waterboxaquariums.com. We got a whole team that'll help you out with any of those questions. You can also...
If they're technical about aquarium, like our aquarium
Yes.
models
Yeah.
and equipment.
But if you have general husbandry questions, post them in the comments after the stream too, because we usually try to get to those.
Also, if you aren't part of it, join our Facebook official user group, the Waterbox official user group. We have so many members on there. It's a great, friendly group. There's no drama. It's an amazing, helpful group that's going to be able to guide you through a ton of your questions. And, you know, you're going to have so much inspiration, and it's a really good group to go to if you're not already part of it. So do utilize that for so much resources that we can't always get to every question, but there's gonna be a ton of people there who are happy to help you as well. All right, ready?
Hopefully you guys asked some questions, made some comments, we got some winners.
let's go.
All right.
What the OG logo? Growling Garden and Grim 2.0. Congratulations, guys. Both of you, email winners at Waterbox Aquariums. Let them know whether you're not in the United States or Canada. Provide your social security number, your driver's license, and Jess will get you hooked up. Not really, like don't provide your social security, obviously. But email winners.
I don't know if I could become a hacker, sure.
Email
it.
winners at waterboxaquariums.com. And we give monies away every week.
Someone wants to know if the golden horse head is coming to wrap.
Oh my goodness, what if somebody stole it?
Said they actually called him Sir Duncan, the goldenest horse head.
Where is that? I'll have to read it.
Linseed.
Maybe. I like that idea.
I don't know. He would probably cry if it got stolen.
Oh, I'd hunt you down. For sure.
You could put cameras in the booth trying to find his horse head. So we're actually here. So next week we're back, and this is a really good one. So we've talked a lot about recently that the Marine EX it's landed, it's been available. People are starting to receive their pre-orders. So we finally now have one at the studio, and we will be showing you a live view of the Marine X here at the studio next week. So you get a first-hand look at it. So it'll be a really nice up-close view of the newest model, the Marine EX. So definitely want to tune in next week, and we'll see you then.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. For more information on Waterbox Aquariums, visit waterboxaquariums.com.
We're live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to tune in, and we'll see you next week.